Okay. Ready? Good morning. Welcome to the January 24th County Board meeting. Will you please rise and join me in a pledge of allegiance and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we have one open forum. Mark.
Chair, could I call roll, please?
Okay.
Commissioner Coring?
Present.
Commissioner Lebke?
Present.
Commissioner Barrows?
Here.
Commissioner Franzine?
Present.
Commissioner Hoag?
Here.
All members are present. Okay.
Okay, open forum. Mark Olson. 3-minute time limit. Please state your name and address for the record.
Sure. Mark Olson, 12336 Thompson Road. Last week I watched the meeting of a whole. I was kind of shocked by it when I saw that there was indication, Mr. Hoole I thought did a wonderful job, but there was indication that you might be wanting to give $8,000 to $10,000 away of taxpayers' money from the sale of $1 to the CLC. That makes absolutely no sense. Now, I know the board didn't take any action. I commend Mr. Coring for what he stood up and said. Why would we do this to an agency? Give more money to a government agency? I realize you're a government agency also, but that is taxpayers' dollars from Crow Wing County. And you were arbitrarily thinking about, at least some on the commission were, Mr. Barrows voted for it. I'm not sure the stance on Mr. Lupke and Rosemary, you thought you needed a policy. You don't need a policy. That thing should have been defeated 5-0. Mr. Hoag also decided that was a bad idea. So I'm a little bit disturbed in the situation that everybody's in with money. And you guys were thinking possibly about giving the CLC a police car or a sheriff's car. That's a little disturbing. So I hope there's no more action on that, and it should be sold at the auction. And if somebody wants to buy it and give it to them, go right ahead. But that's not your job to give money away to another agency. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, if I might, I'd like to respond just real quickly since my name was brought up in the response in the conversation. There was no action taken. Mr. Olson did say that. I expressed that I would certainly consider that. I asked for additional information. There was no vote. I did not take a vote on accepting that. No response. Your time is up. So I just want to be clear that there was no vote taken. So there's a position that people take, but we can ask for additional information, and that was my position officially. Thank you.
Okay. Review and approve the minutes from the December 27th County Board meeting.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Barrows, second by Commissioner Hoag. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
I'll
Aye.
be doing roll call.
Oh, roll call.
Roll call.
Commissioner Lebke?
I was not at the meeting, so I will abstain.
Commissioner Coring?
Yes.
Commissioner Barrows?
Aye.
Commissioner Hoag?
Aye.
Commissioner Franzine?
Aye. Okay, motion passes. Review and approval of the January 3rd statutory organizational regular and county board meeting minutes.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Barrows, second by Commissioner Hoag.
Commissioner Coring,
Aye.
Commissioner Barrows,
Aye.
Commissioner Hoag,
Aye.
Commissioner Lubke,
Aye.
Commissioner Franzine.
Aye. Motion passes. Review and approve today's agenda.
Madam Chair, we have been asked to remove the closed meeting under item number 11, as it's not ready to be held yet.
All right. Do I have a motion?
I
with-
would move approval with that change.
All right, thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Coring, second by Commissioner Barrows. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those,
Commissioner
Roll call.
Barrows,
Aye.
Commissioner Hoag,
Aye.
Commissioner Lubke,
Aye.
Commissioner Coring,
Aye.
Commissioner Franzine.
aye. Consent agenda.
Motion to approve?
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Barrows, second by Commissioner Lubke. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Commissioner Hoag,
Aye.
Commissioner Lubke,
Aye.
Commissioner Coring,
Aye.
Commissioner Barrows,
Aye.
Commissioner Franzine.
Aye. Motion is passed. Okay, County Sheriff. Good morning, John.
Good morning. Good morning, Madam Chair and Board of Commissioners. Before you today, I have a resolution to participate in updating our Crow Wing County Hazard Mitigation Plan. A little bit of history on this. The Hazard Mitigation Plan is a federal and state requirement that all 87 counties have one put in place. Crow Wing County originally developed their plan back in 2010, and then roughly around 2015-16, we updated it. About every 5 years, FEMA requires and the state requires us to take a look at our plan, update it, look at new possible projects. So with this resolution before you, it's just a plan for us to participate in this update of our mitigation plan. What that consists of is roughly the state and federal government figures out it costs roughly $63,000 for us to update our plan. We go through a contractor that's approved by the state. We'll probably use the same one as we did 5 years ago, which was University of Duluth, and their subcontractors, and they kind of help us with that project. Some of you were or did participate in that process in the past. We'll be asking you to participate again, the board members, county departments, all of our cities in our county, along with our townships. I think it's important, even though the townships do not have to sign off or approve a resolution of the plan, because they fall under the county, with all the storms we've had the last few years, I think it's critical that they get involved with this planning process. So with that planning process, we have a couple of meetings which will bring all of our stakeholders together, including our co-ops, our school districts, like I said, our townships and cities, a couple of planning meetings. We'll do a risk assessment, which we just did one in 2022, so that'll be very helpful for us. And with that process, we'll develop a plan with the state, and we'll submit that to the state for approval. Once the state approves on it, it goes to FEMA, and then it comes back to us for the county board to approve. And probably the long process is that all 18 cities have to approve it as well if they want to be included in that plan. With that plan, it allows us to apply for mitigation funds. I've worked with a couple of the school districts in the last couple of years, looking at storm shelters, kind of looking at their long-range plan if they're going to be building, or cities if they're going to be building city parks, and try and have approved storm shelters, and those funds can be eligible to help that process. The plan also is supposed to help out with kind of a speedy recovery aspect on the FEMA side of it. Many years ago, I know down in the southern part or Midwest, there was counties that didn't have plans put in place, and it slowed down the recovery process 3 to 4 months, just because they didn't have their plan put in place, they didn't recognize their risks that were there. But Crow Wing County sits really good, and so does the state of Minnesota for that aspect of it. And what that plan really does, it looks at every community, from the beginning, what disasters we've had, natural disasters. These funds have been used heavily in the Red River Valley and the Minnesota River Valley for buying out homes from flooding. And the main thing with mitigation has been, primarily in Minnesota and across the nation, has been flood risk properties. Does anyone have any questions on this process and what I'm asking for the approval for this resolution?
If there are no questions, do I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I'll make the motion to approve the attached resolution to our packet authorizing participation in the planning process and execution of said agreement.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Commissioner Barrows, a second by Commissioner Hoag. Is there any discussion? Hearing none?
I think John.
Madam Chair, just one thing I want to clarify too is that this is a 75-25% grant, and the 25% that we're responsible for, which we've done in the past, has all been in-kind match. So all the time that it's at those meetings and stuff all goes towards our match. In the past, it has not cost us anything out of our general budget.
Yeah, it says all of that in that letter of commitment funds.
Thank you.
Thank you. We
Ready
still
for the
have a
vote?
motion and second.
Commissioner Lubke,
Aye.
Commissioner Coring,
Aye.
Commissioner Barrows,
Aye.
Commissioner Hoag,
Aye.
Commissioner Franzine.
Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
County Attorney.
Good morning, everyone. I don't have anything for you this morning, but I certainly can answer any questions, and I am prepared to provide the senior management report when that part of the agenda comes up.
Okay. Teresa, are you doing the county administrator?
Senior management team report is first, so the county attorney can take it away.
Senior management met yesterday. Mr. Hool is on vacation, so he wasn't with us. We had some discussions trying to finalize the trifold that goes out with the tax statements with various county information on. I think we've got what's going to be the final draft of that. And then we just had some general budget discussion, as we do at most general or senior management team meetings. And then after that, we did the calibrations for the management in each of the various departments. We do that kind of calibration, or not, calibration or whatever it's called, amongst ourselves at a senior management meeting. End of my report, unless you have any questions. And that's longer than I thought I'd be.
Madam Chair, I will only note that his report's a lot shorter than the administrator's report.
I am not looking for
Much
a job from-
appreciated.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, is Brian Andrews here?
Yeah.
All right, did you want to come forward and present this?
Yeah, Administrator Hool was going to be presenting on it. I just wanted to be present, just in
Oh,
case anybody had any
okay.
questions. And it's always nice to see you guys too, so.
So it is in the packet that this grant is designed for local units of government, but can also be assessed or accessed by community nonprofits engaged in public safety work, like the kind LARJP engages in. Because the grant is designed for local units of government, they must first get a waiver from us to allow them to apply, so that they don't apply if we wanted to. And I know that we did reach out to our senior managers to ensure that there were no other internal competing applications, and there were not. So the recommended board action is to consider approval of a waiver that would allow Lakes Area Restorative Justice Project to submit an application to the Minnesota Department of Public Safety for a 2023 Minnesota, is it Bryan?
Burn Justice Grant. So
Burn Justice Assistant Grant to fund their programming. And if you do have any other questions on it, I would refer them to Mr. Andrews. Thank you.
I could also field any questions on that if you would like, Madam Chair. I actually support the request before the board at this time.
Okay.
Madam Chair, if I might, Brian, did we do this last year too? Is this a yearly?
2 years ago.
2
So
years
every
ago?
2 years we can
Okay.
apply. Yep.
I thought I'd seen this previously. And we did approve it at that time also, correct?
You did, yes.
We did approve it on December 15th of 2020,
Okay.
the previous action.
Are there any questions for Brian? Or is there anything you'd like to tell us before we vote?
Well, just that I'm losing my voice, but I appreciate you guys and appreciate your support too.
Thank you. Do we have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I will second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Barrows, a second by Commissioner Lubke. Is there any discussion? Hearing none?
Commissioner Coring,
Aye.
Commissioner Barrows,
Aye.
Commissioner Hoag,
Aye.
Commissioner Lubke,
Aye.
Commissioner Franzine.
Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Madam Chair, the next item is a reappointment to the Serpent Lake Sanitary Sewer District Board of Directors. The City of Deerwood has recommended to reappoint Joshua Voller for a term expiring 12/31 of '26. And that does need to be a board motion.
I thought so. Is
So
there,
that's why it's separated out from the committee appointments.
I'll make the motion.
okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Hoag. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Coring. Any discussion? Hearing none?
Commissioner Barrows,
Aye.
Commissioner Hoag,
Aye.
Commissioner Lubke,
Aye.
Commissioner Coring,
Aye.
Commissioner Franzine.
Aye, motion passes.
Thank you. The next item is what is left out of the citizen committee appointments, which are up on your screen. And
It doesn't look like there's anyone that hasn't already been appointed, is there?
all the
There-
ones with the yes by them still need to be appointed. So we have in District 2, Commissioner Lubke's district. We have Brenda Myers to the Extension Committee, Jerry Gibbons to the Natural Resources Advisory Committee. In District 4, Commissioner Franzine, there's a vacancy. And Rock Ulanimi needs to be reappointed to the Planning Commission Board of Adjustment, if you so desire. And the at-large appointments, I was in contact with Rex Roach, and Caitlin Roach is the alternate on the Central Minnesota Emergency Medical Services
So they're
Council
just
Board,
switching?
whatever. And they did ask that switch around, so she is the delegate and he is the alternate because his work doesn't allow for him to attend a lot of meetings. So that's what that is about. And I did talk with Bob Schoenbrock, and he wishes to be reappointed to the Raleigh-Johnson Natural and Recreational Area Joint Powers Board. And that's all I have.
Okay,
And those are all chair appointments.
I'll make those appointments.
Thank you. And that is all we have at the county administrator's office.
All right, is there any additional business? The closed meeting has been removed from the agenda, so do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. Second.
A motion by Commissioner Barrows, second by Commissioner Hoag. All those in favor?
No.
Commissioner
Oh, you have
Hoag,
to do it.
Aye.
Commissioner Lubke,
Aye.
Commissioner Coring,
Aye.
Commissioner Barrows,
Aye.
Commissioner Franzine.
Aye, motion adjourns at 9:19.